And now they're not going to keep coming, so he actually has some degree of control over the situation. The staff that had been given to him by the tribes was most certainly paying off in this. He was lucky that these appeared to be as weak as they were. If they were stronger undead, this could have gone much worse. Now, some of those sarcophagi had appeared to drop remains. It was worth... Ow! Well then. It was worth checking them. Crypt key. Found in one of the dread sarcophagi of the Crypts of Undertime, this key appears to grant access to the crumbling edifice's second floor. Now, is that all each of these give? Will he need multiple keys? These are thoughts that come to him. Oh, no, but there's an incredibly powerful suit of armor in this one. Right then, I suppose he would add that in. It's something that he can use later. Make him a little bit of money, possibly from the annoying lizard man that he hopes he can cut down at some point. It really would make his day. Yeah, bullets. It's a gold piece, essentially. At least the stack of them like that. Boots of the Sun Soul +4. Whistling softly, looking at that. That's quite the potent set of boots. Now then, surely there is more. There's 2 over there, if he recalls as well. Although perhaps he's expecting all of them to drop something when they clearly aren't going to do so. The armor alone was a surprise to find. Yes, that would appear to be the limit. There is one more set over here. Might be worth checking the other side as well. Nah, it's just another stack of arrows. That would appear to be it. Right. Well, next is moving further into the crypt full of the undead, which he's very excited about. Dodging more traps as he goes. That would appear to be the first trial, as it were. Folly. And a lot of flame. Fantastic. Burning Man. Lust. Fear. Negative emotions. Hubris. That's what it would appear to be. A potent great axe of some sort. Or it could just be another rusted one. He actually probably should check before he goes picking things up. And it is. Look at that. Why'd he even pick it up? Yep, those are rusted as well. They didn't appear to be hostile despite their words. Perhaps he just needed to avoid the flames that clearly erupted around them. Ah. A floor lever. Right in the middle of them all. Well, the doors appeared to be locked. Right. So, at a guess, as soon as he pulled that lever, all of them were going to turn hostile. Well, he supposed it was going to be a good idea to give him a bit of an edge, because here went nothing. And to his surprise, they hadn't turned aggressive. Had anything even happened? It didn't appear to have. That couldn't be it. Well, but perhaps it was. Interesting. Perhaps the traps were faulty. Well, he certainly wasn't going to complain. He just... Ah. Perhaps the heat was actually something he was already protected from. That seemed conceivable. And this appeared to be a maze of some sort. Oh, and skeletons. Right then. Off with you. Ah. Now he sees. Essentially, you have to survive long enough to... Ah. Yes, he's not exactly comfortable dealing with more powerful skeletons. Luckily, his spells are enhancing him. No, he's leveled up. Fantastic. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a moment to focus right now. He has a bit more issue trying to ensure he does not die. Thankfully, his regenerative prowess are keeping him relatively functional, although dealing with the chieftain may be a bit much. Well then, let's try to deal with this in another way, shall we? Rearranging his footing and releasing his spells. There we are. Much easier. He's much more comfortable relying on his physical abilities, but that does not mean that he wants to. He's still being shot at with arrows. He is hesitant to enter in any of these doors, but he suspects he won't have much of a... Right then. Just close that again. Or just shot him. Or is it the ceiling caving in and hitting him with things? That's what it appears to be. Well then. The idea was that perhaps it was worth trying to kill it, but clearly that was a mistake. He doesn't even think there was anything in there. Although his spells seem to work against it, so perhaps this wasn't so bad. Usually golems had a degree of immunity. This one appeared to be in disrepair, however, so for now it was fine. Pull out the crossbow and try to finish it off. There we are. Now, this damn skeleton, he wasn't so confident in shooting a skeleton with bolts, but it seemed to be relatively effective for now. Thanking his regeneration silently that had been keeping him alive this whole time for the most part. There we are. Now, was the golem defending anything, or were they simply in these rooms? It was an interesting question. Ah, each room had something different. I suppose that made sense. And he's noticed that his stone skin has worn off, so once he is able to close this room, he'll probably take a moment to focus his energies, level himself up, and recover his stamina. The room appears to be as, well, safe as he can make it. Which, granted, is not much. He has nothing to really bar these doors, and there's an unknown sarcophagus in the center of the room. But it will have to do for now. Yeah, just take another wizard level. Intelligence, definitely. That will help him get more spells, as well as help him resist the spell resistance he keeps running into. To his great ire. Alright. Greater spell penetration. On caster level checks is granted to the character when trying to beat a creature spell. See, that's really tempting. But on the other hand, he should get a bonus level at, I believe it's 15. So maybe he should focus on making his non-magical arsenal a little bit more effective. It's a bit of a hard call. If we go that route, it would probably be point-blank shots. Or maybe a weapon focus. I think the greater spell penetration is more important. Yeah. That means also we can get a spell focus feat for the next bonus thing instead. And now we've moved on to level 6 spells. I remember this one being decent. A giant hand appears and attempts to bull rush one target. Gains a plus 14 bonus on the strength checks. A target that is bull rushed is knocked down and is dazed. It's decent. Though the globe of invulnerability is nice. That's basically what the golems have. And against the lich, that might be incredibly useful. Yeah, he's going to take that. And this might be useful in order to not rely on the ointment he has to do this. But on the other hand, he has the ointment, and it's not going to be something he faces a lot. A dire tiger would be nice. Flesh to Stone would be nice just because it would really mess up anything that he went against. I think Greater Stone Skin. We're gonna go high defensive for this choice. And Harmony again, who he unfortunately can't summon much right now. I may look into a mod that increases familiars or something, because that's kind of silly that she's useless at this point. Right then. Now, Victor had to, well, hold on first, let's reorganize his spells a little bit. Yeah, just another magic missile. Wait, do I have shield slotted? I feel like I don't, which is a mistake. Yeah, I don't have it slotted. Let's put it there since I never use Ray of Frost anymore. That is. Those are fine. Wow, he's got 2 extras for that now. Our choices are Lesser Spell Mantle, though if we do this, if we take Globe of Invulnerability, I feel like this is a better setup. If we do this combination, this will be like our emergency buffs for him. And then just offensive for that sector. Do that. Whoa, somebody came in. Victor would quickly snap the book shut and lay into the damned skeleton. That took him by surprise. It was clear he could not linger for very long in this area, which is, to be fair, exactly what he expected. Since it was clear that the maze separated and reformed consistently, Victor was curious on the other rooms. It was a bit risky, but it was clear that there was quite a few in the way of rare treasures, and he definitely needed them if he was going to be dealing with a damned lich. Not exactly something he was looking forward to. Although standing here waiting for these was going to become quite tedious, he was sure. Yeah, I'll probably edit these out while I'm waiting. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Okay, I'll cut it out, and once we get through the different sections, I'll cut back to it. All right, just stood there waiting for about 5 minutes. It instantly came back, of course. An altar. and a glowing orb that acted as a lamp, it would appear. Oh, well, that's about what he should expect, I suppose. Thankfully, his amulet protected him against anything a ghoul could throw at him. And the staff was extremely effective against the undead. A scroll that he could conceivably use. Unfortunately, he knew what was going to happen when he opened this, but he was as prepared as he was going to be. Or not. Well, that was surprising. Usually the mummies pop right out of them. Globes of the Hen Fist, +5. Wow. Founded by a sect of isolationist halflings, the monastic order of the Hen Fist maintains a tradition of solitude paired with the belief that one must first master the self before one can attain mastery over the outside world. Monks of the order fashioned these gloves with sonic properties so that the outside world could be forewarned of their training and thereby know to keep a distance. Well, they're definitely strong. Here's some movement out there, but I believe, yeah, it's just the maze. Another ghoul lord. Victor's just fine with fighting a bunch of ghoul lords. That is completely acceptable. If that's what this temple wants to keep throwing at him, he is completely fine with that. And we're waiting again. I suppose that's fine. Alright, be back once I get to another room. This is very tedious. Alright, so we got to another room and the battle music kicked in, so I'm assuming, yeah, something over here saw us, but that's okay. We're going right into the room. If they want to try to chase us, they are welcome to. Ah, well, this is clearly going to be a mummy. And some of his spells have worn off, so he's going to fix that quickly. Just because once he clears out the room, he won't have his... Oh, it's a revenant. Well, it was a good thing that he'd enhanced himself. And that was a much larger threat than a mummy. Unless it was a mummy lord. Oh, good, and now we have more friends. Oof. Silently offering his thanks once more to the tribe that had allowed him to keep this little weapon, Victor would move on. If nothing else, he was getting much better at using the staff. Physical confrontation was not going to be his preferred method of dealing with the opposition, but he had to admit there were worse ways to go about this. Vampire? Ow. It must be armed with a magical weapon. It was cutting through the stone skin like it was nothing. Luckily, his regeneration would treat the wounds slowly enough, and he was immune to any poisons or diseases the creature would try to hit him with. It wasn't making an interesting noise, however. Less human and more... Whoa! Where'd you come from, buddy? Cursing the fact that apparently... Actually, no, we should probably kill the warrior first. Do that. Oh, God. Well, we were fine until the bone golem morphed through the door. Alright. Get to the potions bag. And down one. And also... No, for now that'll be fine. Just chug the potion. Okay. Now kill that. Kill it. My stones get more off again, it would appear. Kill it. Kill the warrior. Oh, Victor, why are you so bad? You were doing great earlier. Yeah, it does. It regenerates. There we are. Okay, one more potion. And then some spells to deal with this damned golem. Probably another set of spells. Victor's beginning to realize that his combat ability with the staff is definitely getting better, but not to the point that he can just handle more powerful undead one-on-one. Well, that was quite the little battle. Now he is going to be at an interval, though. He's not going to mess with the coffin that's clearly trapped. Just a rusted great axe, it's not worth taking. An enchanted tower shield, well, that might be worth something. Is that's the 60%. Where is our 80? There it is. There we are. That's better. He's fully expecting one of these to explode in his face again. Another Nethresian axe. Oh, and we have a friend. Luckily, this is not a vampire or a revenant. Much easier dealt with. And that's most likely rotten, yeah. Alright, what are you? A specter. That's fine too. Victor is immune to pretty much anything you can do thanks to his equipment. Essentially, it's just the more physically competent undead that he is going to struggle against. Another rusted great axe. And some gold. Just a zombie warrior. Yeah, he's got this. That's just good, because Victor needs a little bit of confidence boost at this point. He's kind of downtrodden between the deaths and his failures and everything else that's happened to the poor man. Yeah, now he has to once more wait for this atrocious maze. Right, well, I suppose he will see you all in a moment. I will cut to it once we get to that point. Alright, got to the next room without incident. Thrones and sarcophagus. Sarcophagi? That's probably the more accurate terminology. What on earth? Oh, you can sit on it. Oh, dear God, why? I didn't mean to do that. He would have known that's a terrible idea. Ugh. Good Lord. Right then. Victor would note to himself, do not touch the thrones. Ugh. Seemed common enough sense anyway. No mummy. Or other undead. Interesting. This one was almost guaranteed to do so then. Or not. Well, now it was just getting suspicious. Huh. Right, well, he wasn't going to tempt fate. If it wanted to just give him free things, he certainly wasn't going to disagree. Now, what about this one? a dark altar with a pile of skulls on top of it. Yes, there's no way this could go wrong. Oh, there's just arrows. He's certainly not going to trigger anything just for some arrows. Alright. This one is likely the same as the opposites. It will likely have a golem of some sort on it. But it would appear that he was going to be waiting for a moment or two. Hello everyone, and thank you for watching. If you enjoy my videos and don't want to miss out on future content, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification button. If you'd like to support me on a more personal level, offer recommendations, chat with me, or vote on future series, then consider becoming one of my patrons on Patreon. Thank you once again for all your support, and I can't wait to see you in the next chapter of our story.